Some choices mark you forever. And no matter how much you wish you could turn back time, the scars remain. I know this better than anyone. My name is Isabel, I'm 32, and for weeks now I've been wrestling with a question that gnaws at me in the quiet hours of the night. How do you live with yourself when the person you wounded most has decided you no longer exist? I never imagined I'd be the woman who destroyed the best thing in her life for something so meaningless. Yet here I am, sitting alone in a rundown studio, surrounded by peeling paint, old furniture, and silence that only magnifies my regret. 6 years ago, everything looked so different. That was when I met Nathan. From the start, being with him felt natural, almost like breathing. There was no effort, no second-guessing. It felt like life itself was rooting for us. Within a few months, we moved in together. By our second year, we had bought a little house in a quiet suburb. To anyone looking in, we were the couple everyone envied, and for a while I believed that too. Nathan was gentle, steady, endlessly kind. He knew how I liked my coffee, rubbed my feet after long days, and never complained about my guilty pleasure TV shows. With him I felt safe, cared for, anchored. But over time, that safety started to feel like monotony. For years into our relationship, the days melted into one another. Work, dinner, TV, bed, repeat. The spark that had once felt unstoppable had dulled into routine. He texted less, came home later, and even when he was there, it felt like his attention had drifted somewhere else. Instead of sitting him down and telling him I was unhappy, I let the wrong voices seep into my head. My friend Kira whispered that I was too young to waste away in boredom. Lana, who treated commitment like a costume she could swap out anytime, told me that if Nathan wasn't making me feel wanted, someone else out there would. And then, like she had summoned him into existence, someone else did. Dylan came crashing into my life at the office. He had a presence that turned heads, sharp suit, easy charm, the kind of smile that drew you in whether you wanted it or not. It started off harmless, just jokes at the water cooler, casual conversations. Then came the texts. At first they were about work, then about music, weekend plans, and stories I hadn't shared with Nathan in years. Dylan made me feel noticed, desired, alive. And I wanted more of that. The attention built until one night after a work happy hour, I let him kiss me in his car. The guilt hit me instantly, but it was tangled up with a rush I hadn't felt in so long, like I had been jolted awake. From there, it only grew easier to rationalize staying late at the office or grabbing a glass of wine with Dylan instead of going home. Nathan felt distant, I told myself. Nathan had stopped trying. And then I made the worst mistake of my life. One evening when Nathan said he'd be working late, I let Dylan into the home Nathan and I had built, into our bedroom, the very place where he and I once promised forever. What happened there wasn't love. It was vanity and selfishness disguised as passion. Some part of me even wanted Nathan to discover it, to force him to see how broken things had become, and to fight for me. But he didn't fight. He simply walked away. Nathan came home earlier than expected that night. Dylan was already gone. I was frantically trying to erase the evidence, straightening pillows, washing glasses, when Nathan's eyes locked on mine. I kissed him, pretending nothing was wrong, but he pulled back. He didn't shout. He didn't accuse me outright. He just went silent, slept in the guest room, and by morning he was finished. At the kitchen table, his hands wrapped around a mug, he told me calmly that it was over. No dramatics, no anger, just finality. I begged for an explanation, though I already knew. Later, when he came back to pack his things, I stayed even though he had asked me not to. I needed to hear it from his lips. And he gave me the truth. He had seen me with Dylan in our bed. I couldn't breathe. Words stuck in my throat as he looked at me with eyes that held no love left. That wasn't a mistake, he said. That was betrayal. I fell apart, begged for another chance, pleaded for counseling, apologized until my voice cracked. But he just shook his head. You didn't talk to me when you were unhappy, he said. You replaced me. And I'm done. Then he walked out, taking 6 years of love and memories with him, leaving me buried under the weight of my own choices. Dylan tried to stay around, texting, calling, telling me we could have something real. As if we were some tragic love story. I couldn't stomach it. I blocked him. Even Kira, who once fueled my doubts about Nathan, recoiled in horror when I admitted that I had brought Dylan into the home Nathan and I had shared. I spent a few weeks on her couch before moving into this cramped, peeling apartment I can barely afford. I found a new job that pays less, but at least no one there knows who I used to be. Meanwhile, Nathan has only gone upward. I heard he got a promotion. He's seeing someone new. She's everything I wasn't, bright, appreciative, the kind of woman who looks at him with the gratitude I once threw away. Sometimes I hover over my phone, tempted to send him a message, one last apology, some desperate plea for another chance. But I never do. Because he was right. He owes me nothing. Not forgiveness. Not closure. I lost him, I lost our home, and I lost the future we could have had. And I lost it all for the illusion of being wanted by someone who never truly knew me. The hardest part isn't being alone. It's knowing this is all my fault. I chose this. And there's no one left to blame.